Once bullied for how he looked, young man an inspiration to the world. Human life is a gift from God, and no two persons are alike. Sadly, not everyone sees it that way. Most people tend to judge others solely on the way they dress, look, and live their lives, instead of worrying about their own lives. Some are even worse and stoop low and bully those who are different. To many of us, the concept of bullying practically may not exist, and we never do understand what it feels like to be bullied. However, those who get bullied sometimes succumb to the emotional stress, and many end up taking their lives, as they can't handle the constant feeling of being despised and hated by others. The man we'll talk about today is one of those many who get bullied, but instead of giving up, this man persevered and pushed through to become famous. 37-year-old Dr. Goodman knows very well what it means to be different than the rest. Dr. Goodman is quite a personality and inspiration to many, but has lived through some trying times. He was born with a condition medically known as Treacher-Collins syndrome. This condition is a genetic disorder that affects the facial bones. The mutation that causes this syndrome affects the development of facial bones such as the middle ear bones, external ears, lower jaw, and cheekbones too. Though he was in no way responsible for his condition, kids of his age gave him a rather hard time. Life was difficult and challenging in high school. According to Dr. Goodman, high school was by far the worst. His own classmates were pretty cruel and made fun of him. He couldn't walk down the halls of his school without being jeered at or mocked by his many tormentors. Thinking back, Dr. Goodman concedes that he contemplated taking his own life on several occasions. Despite his many struggles as a child, Dr. Goodman is a happy man, working as a pediatrician in Indianapolis. He didn't let the bullying get to him, but stayed strong and today is a leading pediatrician in the state of Indianapolis. He loves ice cream, like most of the patients who he sees in his clinic. He also loves ice hockey. His favorite book is Wonder by R.J. Palacio, a book he believes is a good read and a motivator to those suffering with Treacher-Collins syndrome. Wonder by R.J. Palacio throws light on how life is like for a person with facial deformities. As luck may have it, his favorite book was made into a movie and spoke right to his heart. Dr. Goodman says, "I've experienced most of the social struggles that the protagonist Augie dealt with, and also attempted suicide not once but twice in my senior year of high school." He also added that a family did not allow him to care for a young child as a physician based on his appearance and speech, which crushed his spirits. People suffering from Treacher-Collins syndrome have feelings too. We aren't any different from the others. Persons with facial deformities too want to be treated like a normal person. They want to be loved, cared for, and respected. He added that though he experienced his share of heartbreaks in his growing years, he did turn his life into something beautiful and cherished. Dr. Goodman promoted the movie on his Facebook page. Dr. Goodman encourages others. He addresses the public, asking them to read and educate themselves and their children. He added that every person must watch the movie for the heart-rending performance of the protagonist. This movie is what runs in the mind of a kid with facial difference. Dr. Goodman spreads the message of love. The movie affected and impacted Dr. Goodman's life in many ways. It empowered him to work with his differences and make an effort to give back to the society. Due to the many struggles he's gone through in his own life, he's able to treat his young patients with love, care, and respect that they truly deserve. Without even realizing it himself, this kind doctor is making a difference in the lives of many patients. Remember just one golden rule. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. You never know what effect your words will have on the receiver. Words can and do